Hi, my name is Trevor Schulteis, and today we'll be talking about the role of carbohydrates in the body.
What roles does carbohydrates play in the body?
All cells use glucose to function, which we obtain from carbs. Carbs turn into glycogen and glucose.
What are carbs known for in the body?
Carbs are known for energy currency of the body.
What are the two types of carbs?
The two types of carbs are simple carbs and complex carbs. Complex carbs consist of a chain of sugars. An example of that could be pasta. Simple carbs is only two sugars combined, which can be candy or fruit.
What percent of our energy come from carbs?
55 to 75% of our energy come from carbs.
How many calories are in a gram of carbohydrates?
Carbohydrates obtain 4 kilocalories per gram.
The Dietary Guidelines for Americans recommends that carbs make up 45 to 65% of your total daily calories. For example, if you consume 2,000 calories a day, between 900 and 1,300 calories should be from carbs. That translates to between 225 and 325 grams of carbs a day. Finding the amount of carbs you need is very individual. The amount you want to consume are based on how active you are and what your goal is. People who are more active need more carbs. Scientists recommend to eat carbs early in the day rather than later in the day, with the exception of a post-meal workout. If you want to gain muscle, you should be eating the most carbs comparing to people who want to maintain or lose weight. It varies with age, height, weight, and how active you are. If your objective is to lose weight, you should reduce your carb intake but not cut it out completely, or be on a low carb diet. Carbs are very essential, and if you don't consume carbs, your body won't have energy. I found a couple of reliable carbohydrate calculators that are very useful online. You enter your age, height, weight, how active you are, and your goal. It calculates it for you as well as, and it tells you how many carbs you should consume.
So a person might have a change of heart and wants to change their diet plan at a need for carbs because it provides much needed energy for the body and building muscle. And it protects our muscles because carbs are the first source of energy that helps build more muscle. For our body without proteins, for our muscles will be used, meaning that our body will be eating itself or atrophy. The people that needs to monitor the carbs intake is people with diabetes, type 1 or type 2. Type 1 diabetes is where the pancreas can't produce little or no insulin at all. And type 2 diabetes is a condition that affects the way the body produces blood sugar. The balance between how much insulin is in your body and the carbs you eat makes a difference in your blood glucose levels. And the body breaks down or converts most carbs into a sugar glucose. Glucose is absorbed into the bloodstream with the help of a hormone called insulin. It travels into the cell of the body where it can be used as energy.
Action. My name is Miguel, and for me, I had to do common sources of carbs in our diets. So common sources of carbs that we find in our diets would include things like grains, pasta, breads, potatoes, milk, fruit, nuts, veggies, and rice. There are two types of common sources of carbs. There are good carbs and then there's bad carbs. Examples of good carbs would be raw or steamed vegetables, beans, nuts, seeds, whole grains, mainly breads, and there's dark breads like rye. Fresh fruit and low-fat dairy would be examples of good carbs, and for the bad would be sodas, refined grains, meaning white rice, refined flours like white bread, or pastries such as cookies or cakes, and fruit juices and drinks. Those are bad examples of common sources of carbs. And yeah.
Action.
Hi, my name is Shannon, and I'll be discussing how carbohydrates are connected to weight gain and why. And contrary to popular, can I start over, buddy?
Action.
Hi, my name is Shannon McNally, and I will be discussing
Action.
Hi, my name is Shannon McNally, and I'll be discussing carbohydrates and how they're connected to weight gain and why. Contrary to popular belief, overweight people do not eat more carbohydrates than those of people of normal weight. It's the kind of carbohydrates they consume, not the number of carbohydrates being consumed. It was discovered that overweight people were more inclined to eat an excess of refined carbohydrates such as white bread, which trigger a rapid spike in blood sugar, which is the real culprit of weight gain, and that is refined carbohydrates, which can be found in processed foods high in sugar. The sugar is then stored in muscle and if not used is turned into fat, while other carbohydrates such as whole grains, fruits, and vegetables aren't as high in sugars. And there are other nutrients that are related to weight gain, not just carbs. Carbs should not be considered a sole contributor to weight gain and obesity. Other macronutrients can be contributed to weight gain as well, one of them being protein. Protein is a vital nutrient in our diet. However, too much protein can lead to weight gain since protein contains 4 kilocalories per gram. So if you increase the amount of protein in your diet, you're also increasing your total caloric intake. Fats as well play a significant role in obesity, being a calorie-dense food at 9 calories per gram, while carbs and protein only hold 4 per gram, and it's easy to overeat fats because they hide in so many foods such as processed foods, cakes, cookies, steaks, and cheese. Diets high in fat could also lead to health problems such as diabetes, heart problems, and cancers. In any case, carbs are not the sole contributor to weight gain, and that is all myth, and I have debunked it.